Sports Pregame Show.
Hello, basketball fans. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, two teams start fresh for their first game of the season, both squads believing this will be a great year. And tonight, it'll be the Philadephia 76ers going up against the Boston Celtics in Boston. Well, for Boston, they put in a whole lot of hard work and preparation in the offseason. We saw them already in the preseason, and now all those adjustments get put to the test for a game that's going to count, and they're hoping to start out 1-0. And here we are, opening night of the new NBA season. Every club at this point can be optimistic. Some teams just looking to make the playoffs, others with much higher aspirations, Kenny.
Yeah, well, some people would say that you can start with a clean slate. But then certain people are saying we're building off of last year. So this is a continuation. But whatever happened last year to some of those teams who didn't reach their goals, they just can wash it out and start. But there are certain teams saying, yes, we are who we were last year, and watch who we are this year.
You want to come out the gate strong. Ernie, I think we're in for an exciting year. And it was a pleasure seeing you in San Tropez on our vacation.
Yes.
That's a nice aqua machine you got.
It was very surprising to see you there, big fella, too.
I was
it was
not
memorable.
invited.
How'd you like my bathing suit, Ernie?
Well, let's get it to Kevin Harlan.
The setting, Boston, Massachusetts, as we take a look at the lovely skyline of downtown. This is it, opening day. The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. This Boston crowd ready to roar, and this Eastern Conference matchup for the Celtics. And they're starting off the season playing the 76ers here. Last season they won all 4 games, showing complete dominance.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
Yeah, Greg, you're right. They're the better team. I mean, they expect to win this matchup. We'll see if they can take care of business tonight.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Isaiah Cannon is out there with Hollis Thompson. Then there's Okafor. Then it's Robert Covington. And it's Noel in at the power forward position. Now here's Crowder, 6 to shoot. Thomas, no good.
And Isaiah Thomas, traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston. Seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Okafor against Zeller. And Okafor at the basket on the assist by Cannon. Okafor's got the first points on the scoreboard for the 76ers. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, earlier I spoke with Brad Stevens. With this being their first meeting of the year, he stressed to his team to rely on their instincts on the offensive end, saying, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses and not forcing anything. As long as we can continue doing that here, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if that holds true, guys.
Doris, thanks. Guys, shooting is a chief concern for them.
And if that is the focus, then their ball movement is going to have to be sharp today.
It's very rare that you see a team shoot the ball well without moving it well. And that's the hidden message when the coach talks about their shooting.
And here are the 76ers now. After Isaiah Thomas missed from long range. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Okafor kicks to Covington. Shot clock at 6. Here's Noel. Can't get it to go. Now Boston takes it the other way. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
It's blocked. Here's Cannon. Pass to Okafor. Banked in off the glass.
I really think that's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to get it done.
Outside Thomas. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
The Celtics really seemed to get better as last season wore on, too. GA finished the year looking very dangerous.
Kevin, with the Celtics, they were dynamite after the All-Star break. Had the second best record in the Eastern Conference post-All-Star.
Here's Covington. Here's Okafor. Score it. His 3rd straight basket in 3 tries.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And here is Thomas, picked by Zeller. Bradley, no one around him. That's good. It's Thomas picking up the assist. Bradley's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You know, one of the big things for the Celtics after the All-Star break was they played smarter. I mean, they went from the middle of the pack in terms of turnovers to a team that rarely made mistakes.
Okafor gets the bucket.
Impeccable mechanics this quarter. He's been perfect from the field.
Celtics trail by 5. Outside Thomas. Sullinger the screen. They set the screen. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Yeah, that's a good point about the Celtics and their turnovers. Last year, after the All-Star break, they were 4th in the league in limiting their mistakes. They played well beyond their years down the stretch.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Here's Crowder, and the rejection by Noel. Now the 76ers on the break. Right through the knee for the layup. Covington's got his 2nd bucket.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
And now, courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here are the teams that led the NBA in block shots last year. 4th, the 76ers.
A big part of their defense really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Lee's checked in for Zeller. Johnson comes in for Sullinger. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Avery Bradley. Here's Cannon. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
And David Lee missing time early last season with that hamstring injury also opened the door up for Draymond Green to kind of take that starting power forward role. And give Lee credit, though. Didn't sulk, just threw himself into his new role as a super sub.
The 76ers leading by 3. Here's Cannon to the paint. Got a piece of it. Okafor. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
And he makes the first.
And without a doubt, one of the biggest stars of the draft this past summer is Jahlil Okafor. He led Duke to the national title, a true center, kind of a throwback, if you will, that a team can build around for many years to come.
Now with Okafor, Greg, what makes him so good is how NBA ready he is. I mean, people talked about that from the time he stepped on the floor at Cameron. He's Clark as smooth as it gets in the post, a very crafty scorer.
Yeah, he can handle his business down there. He's got great size and agility and very polished in his low post game.
And here are the 76ers now. David Lee missing his last shot. Clock at 4. Step back shot. Lee gets the rebound.
And already we've got a very lopsided edge on the boards for them.
Yeah, +5, as you mentioned. That didn't take very long, did it?
Smart kicks to Thomas. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Innovation and improvisation right there, Greg. Finding a way to get that shot to fall after taking the contact.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. 76ers ahead. They lead by a bucket. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
Check it out.
And Amir Johnson re-signed in Toronto. He's been a big part of this team for years, and he talked about their great fan support in Toronto.
Almost like a soccer atmosphere. I don't know if you've been to a soccer game overseas, but they're just always cheering, rowdy, jumping up and down, waving towels. It's just a great atmosphere, you know, and it's inspirational just to watch the support we have, and it's something that you want to play for the country.
A lot of fans out of the border in the U.S. are surprised when they learn how passionate, Clark, the fans in Toronto can be.
You know, Kevin, that's so true. I mean, when they get it going at the Air Canada Center, that place rocks. And it's great to hear Amir talk about how that pumps him up and makes him want to do it for Canada.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And guys, what's your take so far in Philadelphia?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
Well, what happens is shooters begin to start looking for the shot blockers, and it does intimidate them.
Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Kelly Olynyk is out there with David Lee, and it's Smart in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics.
And guys, we've seen teams hire college coaches with no NBA experience before. It hasn't always worked out, but for Boston, they have to be very pleased with Brad Stevens.
Baseline J on the way, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. The 76ers leading by 4. Grant kicks to Stauskas. Fires from deep. Rebound Boston. And Brad Stevens now in his 3rd year coaching the Celtics. Greg, I know you admire him from afar. Good fit for the franchise. Good fit, Clark, for a young team.
Agree with you completely on all of that. He stresses team unity and selflessness and sets the example and tone with his demeanor.
Screen by Lee. Boston, no good that time either.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
To the middle. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. And it's a 6-point 76ers lead.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And Bradley gets it to go.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And Philadelphia decides to take their first timeout right here.
Let's check out the stats for Turner, how he did last season. Last season, put up about 9 points a game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
Yeah, in every way, I think he's doing a much better job, and the numbers certainly support that.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Sullinger's checked in for Lee, and Jake Crowder's subbed in for Evan Turner. And then for Philadelphia, Okafor's checked in, and Robert Covington subbed in for Grant. And it's Okafor missing. Celtics trail by 4.
And the thing with Kelly Olynyk, he does some stuff that really helps you, and some also that will hurt. I mean, he's highly skilled. He's got the deep range, textbook positioning in terms of the post. A lot of tricky moves down there. Yet he has a hard time being effective against great athletes, which the NBA is filled with. So he's going to have to evolve as a basketball player if he wants to be effective.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
There's a reason why they have 3 seconds in the lane, and that interior play has made a big difference in this game.
Here's Sampson. It's Okafor atop the key. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop, and that one's good. Smart Smart's got his first points in this one.
That's how you make it happen, guys. Ball pressure and then a run out.
And that's how you flip the script in terms of momentum right there.
It's stolen by Sullinger. And now with the fast break, Smart with the ball. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Zeller comes in for Kelly Olynyk, and it's Isaiah Thomas in for Avery Bradley. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Cannon's checked in. Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really like. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
Here is Thomas. After the Sixers pick up 2, he feeds it to Sullinger. Crowder dishes to Thomas. Sullinger the screen. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, good call there. I mean, feet clearly moving when he set the screen.
And he lowered the shoulder, too. I mean, they were going to get him there one way or the other. I mean, that was an easy call.
Johnson, he's checked in for Sullinger. Kicks to Covington. Picked by Okafor. Here's Covington. Defended by Crowder. 5 on the clock. Covington inside the line, but they get it back. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. 6 points for Nerlens Noel.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Now here's Smart. 5 points in the game. Johnson sets the screen for Smart. Back to Thomas. Lets it go from deep. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Amir Johnson. That is his first foul of the game. Philadelphia leading by 5. Here's Cannon. 1:02 left now here in the second. Picked by Okafor. Shot clock at 6. Here's the floater. Moves back up. And it's good on the way in. Okafor's got 14.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass. And that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Johnson the screen. Crowder kicks to Zeller. The dish to Johnson. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Thomas, it's a wide open look. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. That's 10 points for Isaiah Thomas. Here's Cannon. Picked by Okafor. Cannon, the pass to Thompson. And the 3-ball is good. Thompson's got the lead up to 7 now for Philadelphia.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
And the first half is now in the books. 76ers lead by 7. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And an exciting time of the year as the first game of the regular season is halfway through. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. Some nice stretches of basketball from them, and at one point, they pushed the lead up to 7. In the second quarter, we began to see what they're capable of when everything starts clicking, as they pulled out to a 7-point lead by the end of the half. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
The area where they impressed me the most has been on the boards. When the shot's gone up, everybody goes for it. Just a matter of maintaining that energy, playing with that same kind of aggression in the final 2 quarters.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about Boston?
Well, sometimes you get too comfortable playing at home. This team played tonight like it's no urgency. And now they dug themselves a hole, and the energy level to get out of it is going to be extraordinary. We'll see if they come out of the tunnel with some fire in the second half, because they're going to need it.
That's going to do it for now, as the second half is just about ready to get started. We'll see you later.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. You know, Jahlil Okafor has been exceptional here, guys.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Celtics trail by 7. Well, the plan has been obvious now, Clark, for a while. The 76ers really loading up on young players, letting them see a lot of minutes, and they're hoping it's going to bear some fruit, as you like to say, coming up.
Exactly, and it will in time because they've accumulated some really nice young talent, Kevin.
Kicking off the second half, here's Brett Brown's foul. Robert Covington out there with Nerlens Noel. Then there's Isaiah Cannon. Then there's Okafor. And it's Thompson in at shooting guard. So it's the Celtics now. 76ers getting the bucket. To the middle. Ball's knocked loose. And here we go. Thompson heading to the hoop. And now it's a double-digit lead. Thompson's got 5 points so far.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
The feed to Okafor. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Bradley.
And with the 76ers, it's not just on the floor that they have stifled the progress. That they've taken 2 top picks knowing they would sit out a full year just to rehab injuries.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. There's a screen by Noel. Thompson for 3. They get the rebound. Okafor. And that one is stuffed right through.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
You know, one thing few people talk about with the Sixers, this plan of building through the draft and with young players, what if it actually works to their benefit? Then it would become a copycat strategy, because we know in the NBA, it's a herd mentality if something works.
Check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. the strategy included running the offense through Thomas. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris. Now, here's Bradley. 5 points in the game. Just 5 on the clock. Down low, here's Zeller, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Well, taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career has been kind of up and down, Greg. Started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
Timeout call, the 76ers.
You know, with Avery Bradley, he was the 19th pick in the draft for the Celtics. The outlook for him was great, but then ball handling and shooting injury concerns flattened out his development. He had a hard time getting over the hump for a few years, but he's over it now.
Lee's checked in for Boston. Turner comes in for Jay Crowder. The 76ers also with a sub. Jakar Sampson's checked in for Robert Covington. Now here's Okafor. 16 points for him.
And, you know, getting back to Avery Bradley, he's been dynamite the last 2 years. He's finally found consistency with the mid-range jumper and plays a complete game of basketball. With just a little more seasoning, I really feel like the sky's the limit.
Now here's Lee. Jahlil Okafor unable to get his last shot to go. No good on the triple.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, over that break, I listened in on Brett Brown's huddle. Offensively, he wants them to work the ball around. He stressed the need to find good shots, not quick shots. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Here's Sullinger. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. Thomas got his 3rd assist on the night.
Yeah, you're making things far too easy for him when you let him get it that deep.
I echo that. Ditto. I mean, you've got to do your work early to try to keep him out of the post. Fight him a little bit. Keep him away from that spot he wants.
Here's Sampson and the pass to Cannon. Back to Okafor. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Okafor's got the lead up to 13 now for Philadelphia.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Bradley dishes to Turner. He kicks it to Lee. It's Bradley on the wing. Lets it fly. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 7 rebounds in the game. Philadelphia started to create a little bit of an identity last season. After all their transactions, Clark, and shifting around, they settled down and came together.
Yeah, and I tell you, it looks like the identity will be the Sixers being a defensive team going forward. Offense. Oh my goodness, he's just getting nasty on them now. Wow.
Yeah, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out those incredibly slick moves.
Man, like a Ginsu knife, just slicing and dicing.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Pia. Thomas goes in, and Okafor with the block. Lee gets the bucket. Lee's got his first basket. The 76ers leading by 13. Here's Cannon. The screen from Thompson. And Thomas over to help. And Noel gets it to go on the assist by Cannon. That's 12 points for Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Here's Thomas, kept alive. Here's Sullinger, and another shot, and he sinks the layup. Zellinger's got 4 this quarter.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Here's Okafor. Cannot hit, and it's Boston the other way. Guys, there's still time for them to make a run.
But the margin of error is history.
Can't have any wasted possessions down the stretch.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Thomas kicks the lead. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. The Celtics have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
That free throw missing. And the second free throw, good. Here's Cannon. From deep three-point range, and that's not going to go. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Philadelphia ahead. They lead by 12. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. We're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. The 76ers leading by 12. We've got Jay Crowder. Isaiah Thomas out there with Smart. Then it's Johnson, and it's Zeller in center. That's the Boston 5.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Now Smart. Pass to Thomas. 6 to shoot. 8 feet away. And yes, sir, that one drops.
I love the advantage he has from a speed standpoint. He does a great job of creating separation for that shot.
And the 76ers call time here.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Brett Brown as he addressed his team. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
Philadelphia leading by 12. Greg, you're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals, given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
You know, the rest of the D can be stretched a little thin when the double team's in place like that.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the 4th quarter. Smart passes to Thomas. Smart with the ball. Johnson sets the screen for Smart. From deep. The rebound by Grant.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Celtics trail by 14. Now here's Smart. Johnson the screen. It's Thomas outside. The rebound by Grant.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Dishes to Stauskas. And it's Covington atop the key. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Grant with a screen on Thomas. And taken away by Johnson. And Thomas, here we go. He dishes it to Zeller. Here's Crowder. And the three off target.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
Stauskas kicks to Cannon. Screened by Grant. Johnson over to help. To the inside. Here's Holmes. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
No good on the free throw.
The NBA has done a terrific job of increasing its presence around the globe. I mean, what was once a national sport has become a global sport in a relatively short time. I think that'll continue to be the case as a larger international presence moves forward.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Johnson. And Bradley's subbed in for Smart. Second free throw, no good. The NBA, it's undeniable, becoming a global game. It's reflected in the players. 1/4 of the league. That's amazing. 1/4 of the league, now international players.
It's unreal. I mean, that number's going to continue to grow, I think, over the years. Last season, they had a game in Mexico, and events like that really help expand the popularity of the NBA.
Out to the wing. Feeds to Covington. Okafor against Sullinger. 6 on the shot clock. Okafor kicks to Noel. From deep three-point range, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Isaiah Cannon, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Now a timeout called by Boston. Last season, the first season of action for Nerlens Noel, officially a rookie after sitting out the 2014 season. He looked good, and he got better as the season was going on.
That's a great point. I think that year off really helped him grow as a player. Coming into the draft when he came out, he was a guy who I thought had one of the most unbelievable motors I had ever seen. And you know what? Everything he was hyped up to be, he lived up to on the defensive end.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Picked by Zeller. Thomas kicks to Zeller. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Really nice dime dropping there. Playmaking ability is exactly what you get from Isaiah Thomas. And for Noel, I really think he took off in the back half of the season. up his scoring, his shooting percentage, and his rebounding. You can see him getting better almost every game.
Thompson with the bucket. Here's Thomas. Down low. Here's Zeller. That one falls coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got 5 assists in the game. Philadelphia leading by 12. Covington dishes to Cannon to the wing right side. Covington passes to Cannon, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Shooting for Boston, Isaiah Cannon. At the line for 2.
He misses the free throw. It was a tough battle down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season, but give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
Good on the second free throw.
And, you know, for the Celtics, the actual playoff series didn't go well. They got swept by the Cavaliers, but most people will remember the injuries from the series more than the play, and the Celtics have a bright future, no doubt.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Pass to Okafor. He feeds it to Cannon. Clock at 4. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off, and it's Okafor missing.
Well, listen, it was a forgettable series for Celtics fans. However, the Celtics' young core were able to experience postseason basketball. That's something that you can really never replicate. I'm sure they'll be hungry for more of it, and credit Brad Stevens on a terrific job. And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the 76ers.
Clark, what do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
Simply field goal percentage. They shot the ball much better than the opponent.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And, Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Okafor. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
And here's Covington from the arc. Jared Sullinger grabs the board. On offense, here are the Celtics. It's a 13-point game. A shot by Zeller, no good. Here's Cannon. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that'll do it for the game of the. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Nerlens Noel. How'd you
Dead on the field tonight, guys. I'd call it performance economical because there was no wasted opportunity. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up.
When he's at the top of his game, and the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn. He put on a CP crowd. I'm talking about, Ernie.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. The Jet and the entire 2K Sports crew. I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.